Hey all you techs, in today's video I'm going to explain how to set an option code up when we're using a third-party condensate pump with a Samsung wind-free product. So let's get started. First off, nothing replaces training, guys. So get out there, find where the classes are, and take your Samsung install startup courses. There's going to be a lot more information in there than I'm going through here. I'm just cutting to the chase on some of these little videos, but there's a lot more in-depth training to be taken. So I highly recommend that. So in this example, with the condensate pump, I'm not talking about the CAC high wall mounted units or the console or ducted or the multi-position air handlers. I'm just talking about the RAC, FJM, high wall, wind-free, and quantum units, 2.0 and newer. Okay, so they all come with an accessory bag and this little jumper or contactor, dry contact adapter that's in there. This is what we're going to want to utilize, so don't throw this out when you have one of these units. It could be used for other things too. Again, other videos can go through that. In this case, we're going to utilize it for a third-party condensate pump. So in this example, I'm going to talk about the Aspen Mini Orange because we see those very often. So off that pump, again, I'm not showing you how we're terminating those wires. I'll talk about that. I'm just going to be going through how we actually do the option code. So again, there's a black and a red wire, which is your power that's coming off that pump, and your fuse that also goes through your black wire. That's going to be terminated on your indoor units power, your 208 at the indoor, along with the ground that goes to your indoor unit. Then your other two wires off that pump are your purple and your gray, which are normally closed contact, and that's where we're going to be utilizing this. So off that indoor unit, this is a female end. The indoor wind-free unit has a male Molex plug like this. At the bottom right, you're just going to plug that one into this one. Again, units powered down before you do any of this, and make sure it's powered down. Make sure you check your voltage, make sure no contactors, or I should say capacitors, are holding any kind of power. You want to make sure it's drained right down to nothing. You don't want to get zapped or hurt. So plug that end in. This end of it, we're going to be cut this Molex plug off. This again isn't utilized here in North America. We're going to skin it back, and off your gray and black of your pump is where you're going to be going with this black and white, and you're going to be moretting them through. And then once you do that, now we've got to set up our indoor unit with the option code saying, hey, I'm utilizing this contact within my wall mount unit. So the way we do that, and at the end of the video I'm going to show you where you get that video, or where you get that information. What we're going to want to do is get into the installation option codes, so the background program of the system. So through the wireless control, again, we take the battery out, just slide a battery out a little bit so it's not making contact. You can let your screen go blank, or you can press the power button, but you want your screen to be completely blank. And then I'm going to press my temperature up and down button together, hold it in, and slide my battery in. Now I'm into the background. On 00 auto is exactly what I want. So we're going to be doing the single option code setting. So that first digit is going to be a D, and then the second digit, which is my installation option code, is going to be a 2. There's 6 numbers that we're going to be changing or setting up. So in order to change those 2 digits, if I push up, I move my first digit. If I push down, I move my second. We want this to be a D2, so I push up one more time. Once I go through my numbers from 0 to 9, you're going to see it goes to the alphabet. So I want to get it to a small case D. There it is, on D2 auto. Perfect. I'll hit my mode button, and that'll switch us to our next 2 segments that we're going to be changing. So there we go, on 00. Now we're at cool from auto, and we want this to be a 08. So 8 representing the segment that we're changing in the or setting up in that indoor unit. So we're going to push up to get that first digit until I get to an 8. If I get to the 8 and pass it, you could, or go to 9, you can just keep pressing up. It'll roll through the letters and the numbers and get it back to an 8. On 08, cool, perfect. I'll hit my mode button one more time. Cool goes to dry, and 00. In this case, I want to make it an 80. So again, I know my code is going to be changing to the number 8. It's not 08 here. This is where guys can get confused. So again, I'm going to be pushing the bottom to get the second digit to an 8. Because every one of these digits represents a full number of the option codes, and it's just that 8 that we're changing. And that's it. So on 80 dry, perfect. I'm going to point this at my indoor unit that's powered up now again because we wired it up, then powered it up, and I'm going to repeatedly press my power button here. You can see it's sending a signal. When I press, it's sending the signal to my indoor head. The indoor head will do a chime, and that means it has been updated to this new setting. Once you keep pressing the button. If it doesn't chime, then that means that it's got that information. If it just is a single beep, it means it's already done and in there. And then you're good to go. Then I would pop my battery out, get my screen blank, put my battery back in without pressing any buttons, and I'll go back to my user menu for using this control and put my back wire on. Again, guys, the key thing is, if I have a FJM system, I may want to do, if I've got 3 or 4 condensate pumps I'm doing, once I put that program in this one unit, I can then go to every indoor unit and just repetitively press that power button and send that same information to that one. So again, that's how you would do it. Where you would find this stuff, it's going to be under Bulletin 2020-0022, and that's a bulletin on SamsungHVAC.com. Go to Technical Documents, and that's where you'll find all your information. Thanks, guys, and be safe out there.